As for Drew O'Connor, the point of the question, the crux of why we're here for this segment,
Mm-hmm.
is his trade value dipping? Yes. Is he part of the future? Not really anymore, it seems. I mean, he's 26, so he's part of that young group that the Penguins wanted to focus on going forward, and maybe he would be a key piece, except something about this season has felt different. Obviously, the production hasn't been where anyone wanted. He doesn't have the worst plus minus in the team anymore, but it's darn close. And when he's not getting top line minutes, it's tough to see him doing anything really. But like I said, he's young and has a ton of potential still. But with the state of the Penguins, that's a good piece to trade away for assets in return. And that feels more of the possibility with Drew O'Connor here. And they would probably like to keep him, but considering he's in the last year of his deal, they'd probably get a good return for him if the timing lines up. It just makes the most sense to deal him while they can and get something back.
Yeah, and the thing I look at with O'Connor is there's a stark difference between him and a guy like Phil Tomasino and a guy like Cody Glass, where there's going to be people that are going to say, hey, even if he's struggling, look at those two players. They were struggling on the Nashville Predators, and Cody Glass, yeah, they had to trade a piece to get rid of him. But a guy like Phil Tomasino, Nashville got a 4th-round pick to get him or to get rid of him. But I think the problem with O'Connor is he doesn't have that high draft pedigree that's going to automatically boost the price. He was an undrafted free agent out of college. Plus, he's already 26 years old. So I think with that, his market is 100% determined by his performance. And as you've been mentioning, his performance has been bad all season long. So if the market is there, I do think he's gone. But as of right now, I'm not sure the market's there. And I don't think the Penguins are interested in trading him away for nothing. That's just poor asset management. You're still muted.
Can I hit my button? There we go. Yeah, absolutely. His performance is going to definitely determine his return value. If he's able to pick up a couple more points and play like he was last year a little more, or at least show that he has that ability to still do it, utilize his speed, find the net a little more, even just getting pucks on net would be a huge help. Maybe that could at least drive something up. This isn't a player you want to lose for nothing at all. That is, like you said, that is poor asset management. If they hold on to him into the offseason, I'm going to ride the train if you re-sign him for a year. That's straight up, because or 2 years, and maybe you make the trade down the line. Players move all the time. It's very like we know it here in Pittsburgh. It's very rare that players stick around on the same team their whole careers. Drew O'Connor certainly is not going to stay on the Penguins his whole career. It might be this year he gets dealt. It might be next. He might even go to free agency. Because he isn't producing this year, it's not like he's going to cost a ton of money to re-sign. So if he's here in the offseason, you re-sign him for a year and kick the can down the road. Otherwise, I'd say absolutely if he hits a stride, strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah, if there's a market there, that's why I'm saying if there's a market there, he's gone, because the Penguins looking at him on an expiring deal, knowing that, hey, if he does get to free agency, they'd probably like to re-sign him, bring him back and give him an opportunity to kind of prove that this was a down season and he can bounce back and be what he was last year. But there's a chance that he walks. He's going to be unrestricted, right? So, I mean, there's a chance that you lose him for nothing anyway. So I think that they are going to shop him, especially because when he is playing well, that is a player that a lot of contending teams will like to have. He's good on the forecheck. He has good foot speed. He's a big body and can penalty kill. So he's somebody that has desirable skill sets. He just hasn't been playing well. And the biggest thing is it looks like he's chasing. It kind of looks like he did a couple years ago when he first got into the league, where he was just a step behind the play. He was just one kind of millimeter or 1 inch off of making the play, and he just can't seem to catch up to the game. That's what it looked like on Tuesday, and that's why he was dropped from the second line down to the third line. And even when he was on the third line with Lizotte and with Bunting, he still looked to be kind of a step behind. The one time he looked to be timing things right Michael Bunting took an interference penalty and kind of negated what could have been either a partial breakaway or a kind of a small 2-on-1 opportunity. I would have liked to see that materialize because maybe that could have been the turning point in his season, get a little bit of momentum going, get off the schneid there, but it didn't happen. And still, we look at Drew O'Connor as a player that is playing, I don't want to say under market value because he's not getting paid all that much money, but he's playing far below expectation, especially whenever he kind of boosted that line so much in the last dozen or so games of last season.